Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the last round-robin matchup of the tournament between Syckness and Nadagast. I'm Shedder, and alongside, as usual, I've got Mr. Andy Zoom. What's going on, partner?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Shedder? I'm doing fantastic tonight. Those were some great matches we just saw. Thanks so much again to Torch and Jaeger. Syckness, Nadagast, they're brothers. This is going to be a ZVT, which I love. So I'm pretty much excited as could be. I'm happy as a clam. I am a happy camper right now. So that's where I stand, Shedder. Why don't you give us some formatting here?
All right, well, we've been playing round robin for the last 3 evenings now, and it's come down to this. I'm going to pull up the standings here. Earlier this evening, we saw Jaeger basically 3-0 Torch in pretty spectacular fashion. Although, I would be interested to see how this all would have turned out if Torch was stateside, but it wasn't to be. But in any case, we've got Syckness and Nadagast up at the top of the standings, and that's probably, it is actually literally where they're going to stay here into the championship match. So we're going to see a sort of preview of what's possibly to come tomorrow. These guys, they say they haven't played a lot against each other, but talked a lot of strategy, so they might be in each other's heads a little bit. So it's going to be really interesting to see, I think, how these matches play out, and they're going to get a better feel for each other and their play styles here in this best of 3 this evening.
Absolutely, and not only that, but this is some seriously fierce competition because we have prizes, which is awesome. I mean, we have serious prizes. So first place is going to take home a brand new GTX 460, which, as we all know, is the perfect Starcraft 2 GPU. That's a very nice donation from the NVIDIA Corporation. And of course, second and third place is going to take home a 60 gigabyte Patriot SSD drive. Patriot memory was very nice to be a part of the esports community and help support our little tournament here. So really excited about that. And these two guys are going to be duking it out for the best GPU in the world. I can't wait to see what happens.
All right, and with that, we're going to toss it into the booth here with Fishsticks and Eckstein to bring us the call and the map picks. Go ahead, guys.
Alrighty, well, we're going to get right into it with the map picks. We got the coin flip about to go down. Nada is heads, Syckness is tails. Oh my god, here we go. Oh, that looks like a George Washington right there. It's going to be Nada. He gets the choice of first to eliminate or to pick the first map. Nada, my man, what's it going to be? Alrighty, sounds good. That means that Syckness, you will get first elimination. The list has been posted in that chat right there. Jungle Basin, out of here. Blistering Sands, that does not sound fun. That's the current list.
I agree as well.
Well, since we all concur.
All right, Lost Temple is lost. And no scrap station. So 3 very popular maps this tournament. It's going to be Shakur's Plateau, Zelnaga Cavern, and Metalopolis. That means Nada, it's your choice of a first map. All right.
Let's do this. Zelnaga Caverns it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
That's cool. I mean, if it's cool with your brother.
I think we're all friendly here.
You guys are brothers, so I mean, right?
I think he was just trying to bait out a reaction and then judge from there. So that's not cool, man.
That's what my brother always does when it comes to game rules. But you know.
Oh wait, right?
What?
Nothing. You missed it.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Whatever.
Are there more siblings to this drama, or just the two of you? Nice.
Do they play Starcraft? You could have like a 4-person tournament with just your family.
Just noobs.
Just kidding.
You guys wouldn't win anything though that way.
All right, well,
Let's gear up into this map, guys.
on that note, Shakur's Plateau is what it's gonna be, and Zelnaga and Metalopolis are gonna be one of the other maps. Shakur's, the spawn positions certainly bring a change to this map, so it'll be interesting to see where our players end up.
Apparently, none of the people out there in Streamville could hear our friendly players talking. But oh well, that's too bad. No big deal. Shakur's Plateau, let's go.
I am super excited for this matchup. I mean, Syckness has just brought like insane Zerg play all tournament. I mean, he's been super exciting. Like, there's been so many maps where it's been like, oh, Syckness is in such danger, and then he's just like builds his way back and wins the map with like a bunch of roaches that I don't know where they came from, but like he just keeps building these crazy armies and doing mad work. And I mean, Nadagast has also just been like blowing his competition out of the water. This is gonna be crazy, man.
So Nadagast is our Terran player, proven StarCraft 2 player. Top 8 at MLG Dallas or DC, I can't quite remember. One of the MLGs, not important. That's always very impressive. Down in the bottom left, we've got Syckness, the Zerg player. I'm not quite sure what his history is. I actually was unaware of his play before this tournament went underway. But he's in the bottom left, and he's probably very, very happy, going to be very, very happy with these spawn positions as they are as far away as possible, allowing the Zerg player to macro up as much as he pleases, and that's exactly what he's doing. We're not seeing the early pool come out for Syckness as we have seen in previous games. Instead, looks like he might be going for an expansion first. Yes, it is. 300 minerals, and there's the expansion.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like Syckness was busting out that 11 overpool build versus Jaeger, but against his Terran opponents, he's kind of favored a more traditional Zergling approach. Actually getting blocked on the scout with his supply depot going up and not going to be able to get into his opponent's base to see what's up. But 2 supply depots and a barracks is about all that's up. So he's pretty much seen it all, you know. He knows.
Well, this is going to allow Nada to maybe pull out something unexpected on his brother. We'll see what tech choices he decides to go with. He still does not have a Vespasian Geyser, which makes me think he's going to be going for an expansion. I think that's exactly what he's about to build. In comes the expansion. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, very quick expansion. I mean, only a barracks and 2 supply depots, the only other buildings he has. Now the refinery going down.
Well, he's in his brother's base.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on. He knows he's going to be safe in these long cross positions. He knows that his brother doesn't have any lings on the field as of yet. So out comes the second Marine, and both players gearing up for a macro game. It's going to be a long one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, double refineries here for Nadagast. Probably going to see a factory next, I would expect. He's going to build up some excess minerals. Maybe he'll have to throw down a barracks just so he feels like he's using those minerals well. But I think a factory is going to pop out as soon as he has 100 gas. Maybe a supply depot or 2.
This better be good.
Yeah, it makes sense to focus on getting a little early gas, since any attacks from your opponents are going to take so long to get across the map. You're going to feel just a little bit safer, a little bit more comfortable in teching up than normal.
Actually, the timing is really nice right now. The completion of his command center is going to bump his food up quite a bit, so he did not need to build that extra supply depot, and there comes the orbital command right away.
And the bunker at the base of his double ramp in this map, I guess. So he will be quite secure in this location as soon as he sticks those 4 Marines in there.
Well, his opponent hasn't built a single link yet.
Yeah, 2 factories for Nadagast, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
did they? I missed him.
Yeah, and he's got more coming down, a total of 8 or 6. Oh, excuse me, read that number
I
wrong.
smell blue flame Hellions. That's my guess right now. We're seeing a tech lab go up on the first factory, and then reactors being built on his racks. I think we're going to see blue flame. Yes, there's the upgrade already. First Hellions being produced. As soon as that reactor's over, or finished, that factory is going to be switched over onto the reactor position. But for now, we've got 2 Hellions getting out on the field. That's going to be so very effective against Zerg without speed. But metabolic boost is just about to finish, and 16 Zerglings on the way. However, Blue Flame roasts Zerglings so damn fast that even with speed, it's going to take some insane micro to surround those Hellions.
Yeah, and definitely it's going to provide a ton of early aggression for Nadagast. Because, I mean, we've mentioned already that this is a long map, but, I mean, if you have those super fast Hellions, the distance doesn't really matter since you can get over there so fast. So if he gets a large number of Hellions here, he could actually get some pretty good early aggression. And Syckness has already built a bunch of units, but once this flame is built, is finished, he's going to be able to destroy these Zerglings so quick. 1 Hellion about to go down here. Another Hellion fairly low, but driving off these Zerglings. A ton of Zerglings. He's actually got a good number of Banelings, about 8 Banelings done, and getting his forces together. More Zerglings going down too. He's been focusing pretty hard on his aggression here.
Oh.
Wow.
Jesus.
Only 1 Hellion going down. They're just
Carnage.
melting away.
Oh no. Banelings are moot
Wow.
point. Totally destroyed, totally owned. Syckness is focusing on only building Zerglings right now, but he needs to drone up to gain some sort of advantage, but it's not going to happen. I think this is too many Hellions. I think he's going to be able to push in right here, take out all of these Zerglings, one-shotting this huge group of Zerglings. He's going to be able to move in and wreak some absolute havoc on the drone production of his brother.
Yeah, with that many Hellions, that's just going to be insanity.
He doesn't even care about those spine crawlers. No big deal.
Yeah. Roll on by. As long as he does it, he can do a good micro here. He's keeping his 5 health point Hellion alive. And wow, what a huge distraction here. He's going to get a huge economic advantage here, as well as the damage done. Not trying to focus down any queens, instead just trying to chase down these drones. Now he's locked in. A couple roaches out. And Syckness is going to try and get his drone count back. 7 drones coming out. But he's still got these 3 Hellions behind his mineral line.
Wow, these Hellions will not survive. Roaches are pretty much the hard counter to Hellion harass. But he now has more than double the amount of harvesters as his brother. And I expect to see another expansion, honestly. No reason to push in hastily right now. 3 tanks already out in the field, and that's going to do so much damage against those roaches.
That's a good point. He's got plenty of minerals. He could definitely, I mean, he threw down 3 more barracks, but he still kind of almost has enough excess. And wow, vehicle weapon upgrade level 2. It seems really early. Yeah, now +2 is being researched, so he is gonna, once he gets these tanks in position, they're gonna be very powerful. Or even a transition to Thors once his opponent, his brothers, maybe switches over to Mutalisks. He's mutating in the lair right now, and he's going to be very ready. I mean, he has +2 vehicle attacks. He's got 1 Thor coming out. He's just going to crush any mutas that come at him. His Syckness has been very, very tricky though, so he might be able to make some work happen with his harass, but it's going to be really tough. Nadagast is huge on me.
Yeah, that's the one thing that comes to mind right now with this unit composition for Nadagast. He's going to be extremely immobile with Thors and tanks. Those things are goddamn slow.
Oh, no, Excuse. Yeah, no, Syckness is supply blocked right now, too. He's 68 out of 60 with his Overlord going down. And the supply of Nadagast is 132. I think this is going to be
roaches don't stand
shortly.
a chance.
Yeah, I know.
Roaches. Boom! That's almost GG right there, losing 3 roaches to those tanks. More tanks pushing in.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna inch his way forward, take out these spine crawlers. Syckness moving him back. That's a great play there. Of course, though, he might be forced to do that again as Nadagast pushes forward. I mean, you know, he's got him established, doing a little bit of damage from the spine crawlers. Nadagast is gonna be forced to engage here. Coming in though, this Roach's Banelings is down as well. And Siege Tank's doing huge work there. Oh, spine crawler with 1 health. 1 out of 300, finally going down. And Burrow being researched, that could be a big boost here. No detectors out on the field, but even then, you know, Syckness is having problems getting enough larvae right now, and even it seems. He has a ton of minerals. And only 1 queen. So only getting the extra larvae.
This is smart here.
Yes.
He's going to be able to focus down this tank. Oh, wait, no, that you can't reach the tank from that position. Huh. Interesting.
Oh, the roach is on the cliff. Yeah, that is very interesting. He's used a lot of stim, though. He could be in a little bit of danger here. Still, 4 tanks still up. Wow, yeah, the roach is just melting away there. This is going to be it. I mean, he's going to finish off this hatchery. And with that, Syckness is not going to be able to produce enough units. His drones are pulling back. The queen is coming out. But, you know, yeah. GG's.
Definitely a really smart play by Nadagast, forcing a response to those early Blue Flame Hellions, forcing out those roaches, and then immediately switching his tech over to siege tanks with +2 attack. Really brutal, awesome choices by Nadagast.
Yeah, definitely. What were your thoughts on that, Andy?
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's seriously high level play right there. When you know, like exactly like you were saying, Fish Sticks, where you make a play that forces your opponent into a different type of unit that you're already preparing the counter for. You know, he was already producing tanks and getting that siege mode and that +1 when he forced when he forced the roaches, and then all of a sudden he comes in and there's nothing minus mutas. Mutas would have been a serious counter to what Nadagast was doing there, but he knew that he killed enough of his economy right off the bat that he was not going to have mutas in time, and it was a perfect timing push with the exact counter to the units he forced. Awesome play, really.
All right, Andy, just get in game, and then we'll get this thing started.
Yeah, calling you out on that one.
Sorry, I was saving my replay and I was using my hands to talk. Sorry, I do that.
Well, you know, at least you're
Next
being
time we'll have
illustrative.
webcams. All right.
There we go.
Next time. What?
So Metalopolis is the second map between these two brothers, duking it out for an NVIDIA nice card. So, in the top right, he is our Zerg player. He is the one, the only,
The Syckness.
Syckness.
Are you down with the Syckness, Ben?
Sort of. I'm trying to do my GSL opener. God damn it, you're ruining.
That was a great Artosis.
And on the left side.
We have our Terran player, former Warp WoW player, and TF2 player. He is Nadagast.
Nadagast.
That's so much fun. We should have done that every game. Damn it. Except for it should have been Shedder, like Nadagast.
No, of course, all the games that we've had on Metalopolis here. Syckness had one game in which he, as Zerg, received the far spawns, and then that game crashed, and we had to redo it, and he ended up with short spawns. So once again, his opponent's going to be pretty close by, and might have to be a little extra careful.
Yeah, Syckness does not want these spawn positions. I think he's gonna go scout before he decides to throw down his early expansion. This could spell trouble. Syckness is going for the hatchery first, which is going to favor Nadagast in these very, very close positions. If Nadagast gets that scout out there soon enough, he might transition over to a couple more racks and some nice early pressure. Let's see.
A drone almost getting the kill.
I think he just psyched out his brother.
Little game of chicken right there.
So in comes the scout from Nadagast, and he will see his brother is so very, very close. Spawning pool just now barely getting started. So I think that's going to spur a reaction. Could be wrong. But I think we're going to see another X go down in 5, 4. Oh, damn it.
He's got an SCV finishing up a supply depot. Could free him up. We shall see. Oh, factory.
Factories do take slightly longer to build, but that Hellion, again, is really, really good against Lings, especially Lings without speed, which he might be able to catch his opponent with if he doesn't start getting out that Ling speed really, really soon here. Has not even started to mine gas yet, Syckness that is, so he cannot get that Ling speed out. And that Hellion plus a couple Marines is going to be pretty beastly.
Yeah, definitely. And only a few Zerglings, just a couple out here to harass the SCV. Getting double Queens on the way. Very crucial. And just droning up, pretty much. Oh, well, 3 Marines coming out here to protect this SCV. Yeah, driving away the Zerglings.
Must bite my tongue. He did not get out the early Hellion. Nadagast did not get out the early Hellion. Instead, he's opting for more macro-oriented play. It looks like he's going for a Hellion after all, but after getting the tech lab, he will build his expansion now. So, not going to go for early aggression. I really thought he would actually, but you know,
yeah,
he's a much better player than I am. So I'm going to stop talking about it.
Yeah, Nadagast choosing instead for the early expansion and the blue flame research going down. So, I mean, it's still going to be some Hellion play. Using them actually right now to drive out those Zerglings. Maybe inspired by Torch's play.
Well, we didn't see the early Reaper, so probably not. It's a very essential part, I guess, Torch's plan. But Syckness is suiciding that Overlord into his brother's base. He is going to see that the command center is being built, so that's going to give him a big sigh of relief. He did throw down a spine crawler in his in the front of his natural expansion for extra defense. That's probably a great play. It's going to deter these Hellions quite a bit. But he's going to realize that now his brother is not building tons of unit, instead just going to expand, and that I think we're going to see even more droning up by Syckness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Roachborn actually just completing.
Yeah, so spitting 4 of them out, but he has no other real army right now, so you got to have something up at least to play footsies with your opponent with and buy you some time, especially with these Hellions about to come in. Roach is almost completed, and a Baneling's nest going down. The blue flame driving off these drones, torching a couple, as it were. Torching.
So I actually feel like investing all those resources in the blue flame upgrade this early on in the game may not have been the right choice by Nadagast, because Roaches were already up at his opponent's base. Blue flames do a lot of damage against light units, but against armored, they do just about squat. So I think we're going to see a couple more Marauders get pumped out here. Those are the things that can do real damage against Roaches in the early game. But actually, neither player is really going for any kind of early aggression.
Yeah, Syckness has a decent army over here, and he threw out a single Zergling to see what was going on with his enemy's base. Now actually creeping in here, playing footsie alongside the range of the bunker, but he doesn't have nearly enough troops here. He's getting some Banelings up though on the left-hand side. if you send those into to the SCV line, this is going to be great here. Oh, look at that. Banelings on the left side of Nadagast expansion here. He's going to destroy a ton of SCVs and sending the rest of them in. Does a little bit of damage to the units, but did get a good chunk of, 4 or 5 SCVs in there.
I'm not sure if that was actually worth it mineral-wise. Did not get as many SCVs as he probably hoped.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, harvester count, Syckness is only up by 4, and in resources lost tab, he is still behind. So, yeah, those banelings might not have quite been worth it. 2 tanks up here for Nadagast. But
Nadagast is reacting so well.
Until a medevac gets out, that damage that was dealt to those Marines and Marauders is going to stay on them. The Queen's going to be maybe a little out of position, put creep terminus down, get spotted and taken out with ease. That's a little bit of a big loss.
A little bit of a big loss. I like it.
Indeed. Never want to lose a Queen. Wow, a ton of pressure from Nadagast here. Syckness having to pull these roaches back. And Nadagast just kind of parking up. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. It seemed like he was in the middle of aggression, but I guess he was done with his moment. Had to focus on his macro a little bit. Coming in more now. This 2 siege tanks in position. First going down though. Roach is up. Is only siege tanking the 3 SCVs. Wow, Syckness maybe getting the upper hand here. It does have a siege tank back as a base. Nadagast does.
Yeah, he still has 1 siege tank and that bunker up, so he should be able to fend off these few roaches right here. They actually are fairly weak in general. That siege tank is about to start doing some big damage. Down goes 1 roach. They're all in yellow. One of them is quite weak, so I think Syckness is being forced right now to back off once again. It's so hard as a Zerg player to find your 3rd expansion, though, when you spawn in these close positions. However, he has spawned his his 2nd expansion over in the top right of the map. Just gonna pray that his brother does not send a Hellion up there to find that. If he does, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble because he does not have Mutalisks yet. He is not getting a Spire yet, so he's not gonna be able to defend that expansion. However, once it does get up, he is gonna reap the benefits.
Yeah, definitely. And as long as his brother doesn't scout it, he's going to be all right there. Building a ton of banelings though, and his brother coming in here, setting up on his left ramp right by his expansion. He's driven away the bio ball though, so he's going to be able to focus these siege tank down easily. And Burrow is about to finish. So I mean, if he can get these roaches away, burrow him down. Yeah, there he goes, burrowing. He's going to get his health back. His roaches are going to be so much more cost effective now that he has that burrow. Nadagast has thrown a lot of resources at him, and Nadagast actually not the category, not the statistic that you want to take the lead in is resources lost. I mean, he was a bit behind his brother, Syckness, but since that point earlier in the game, he has moved to actually losing 300 more resources than his brother. So maybe Nadagast, the situation is changing a little bit.
See the burrow. We're gonna see the burrow. Come on, burrow.
Yeah, he needs to burrow right now. Save those roaches. Save them. Oh no! Can't let all of those die. Wow.
Very interesting back and forth right now.
Yeah.
Each player is taking their time in the spotlight, taking their time with the lead or the seeming lead. A great, very, 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 very favorable encounter there for Nadagast. And now he's going to feel very comfortable. Although his main base, the minerals are starting to get somewhat thin, still got plenty left and still got plenty of time. Zerg on 3 bases versus Terran 2 base. Actually, looking over at Syckness's 3rd base, almost no, what do you call it? The saturation. There you go. That's the word. No saturation on the minerals, but he does have a Spire going up, so he will be able to defend that expansion if it gets seen. And when it gets seen, actually his brother's thinking, or in rather a similar vein of thought, throwing down just now an expansion in the bottom 6 o'clock position. So each player on 3 bases. Zerg has not yet saturated his 3rd base yet, but he is actually expanding the creep highway down to his brother's base very quickly, and that's going to be a huge, huge benefactor to his units. Oh, money scan.
Yeah.
Nadagast knows everything that's going on with his brother. at this
Much
point
more
in time
tanks.
and is going to start pushing out.
And a Raven coming out as well, diversifying his units.
One single Ling is gonna block this expansion going down in the bottom right for Nadagast. I'm not sure if he's gonna try to commit some down there.
Oh man,
Get that thing up.
that is game changing right there.
Absolutely.
The
come
battle
the
going down
Banelings.
right now. Oh, these tanks are gonna get overrun. Yeah, 3 more are sieging up. The Roaches are taking a lot of damage, but with no bio nearby, I think again Nadagast might have taken the brunt of that damage. Again, they're kind of tied on the resources loss category, but Muta's starting to come out, and that could be a big game changer here, as he's got only 2 Marines up here. And the Mutas are just going to be able to focus the siege tanks down with no threat to their safety, and going to be able to do huge work here. Oh, the auto turret though, driving away the Mutas at least for a second. More Marines in this army now. Nadagast's doing a really good job of resupplying his army as he's pushing forward.
Oh yeah. And
Dropping the backside of Nadagast's base. And he's got his rushes up here fairly quickly, but I think he's still done a good amount of damage. Harvester count is still pretty equal, but once again, that unit loss tab, and now it's starting to swing in Nadagast's favor, as he's also got this siege tank up pressed in the hatchery. And all of a sudden, they're shooting at the Minx statue. What was that?
That's a really embarrassing misclick. All the siege tanks were somehow targeting the statue instead of the roaches. That's actually huge right now, because this Raven is now going to be taken out by the Mutalisks. And now here's another encounter. Actually, Nadagast has a huge force, tons of Marines. Where are the Banelings? A few Banelings could do so much damage, but the siege tanks are in position. The siege tanks are not going to allow the Banelings to get in. Right now, the Mutalisks are coming up through the back. They're going to be able to take down 1 or 2 siege tanks. Nadagast has to react to this very quickly. Where are the Banelings? And there, those Mutalisks are going to melt.
Just finished. Yeah. The hatch going down though is so huge.
Oh yeah. And now Nadagast has started to saturate his third base. It's actually just as saturated as Syckness is now only his second base. Now Syckness has a huge deficit to make up. The only possible way he could make this up right now is by some extremely insane harass with mutas or something like that, because these siege tanks are in position and there's no way Syckness is getting his natural expansion back before he takes down all 4 siege tanks and this huge bioforce. While the pressure is being put on Syckness's front, Nadagast is also moving to the 3rd and 4th expansion for Syckness during the course of this game. That's going to be taken down rather quickly.
I think if he marches up and takes out that other expansion, that we could see the GG right there. I mean, at that point, if you're Syckness, what's the point of playing? I mean, you've lost your other expansion. You're reduced to your 1 base that is quickly running out of minerals. He's got to push right now, and yeah, there it is. GG. Without a doubt. Another exciting match, though. I mean, it was a really interesting play between the two. And we got Zilnaga Caverns left. Syckness saying he's got to fix his sound, so it'll be just a second until we get this next one up. Andy, what was your analysis on that matchup?
Yeah, that was a cool game. You know, lots of back and forth. Obviously, not a 100% ideal spawn locations for the Zerg player. That's, you know, such a tough thing to defend when you have those tanks pushing across the high ground where you would have wanted to take your 3rd. You know, and then you know, where do you go from there? Where do you expand from there? It's really difficult. So because it got taken to that later part of the game, you know, I think that's where Syckness's pretty impeccable play we've seen from him so far has started to break down. He made a few little micro mistakes with the mutas in the end there, and just not being able to have enough Banelings to counter the massive amount of bio and tanks. So definitely a great game though.
Very back and forth throughout the entire course of the game. Syckness really never got his 3rd expansion, or 3rd base fully saturated, so he wasn't able to have that economic advantage that Zerg players really need in StarCraft 2. So he wasn't able to, he was losing too many units to keep up with his mineral collection rate, and he was not able to micro those mutas well enough to get those tanks down. And tanks just so great against roaches. Here we go, game 3 is about to start. Xel'Naga Caverns is the map. Who will win? That's a really corny intro. I gotta work on that.
Don't be ashamed.
No, it was good. I liked it.
At least I'm trying.
No, this will be a great match. I mean, Xel'Naga Caverns is very cool. I mean, the Terran can clog up the walkways pretty good. I've seen a bunch of TVTs on this map that have become very defensive and very slow paced, creeping forward. But the Zerg, it's like Syckness is gonna have to either be very aggressive, off of one base or two bases, or he's gonna have to grab a third. Even if he's playing passive, he's obviously, he's a Zerg player. He's going to expand to his second base. But, do you try to win the game right there? Or do you try to go Zerg and go macro and expand? And this map is so interesting because, do you expand to the bottom or, the bottom right or the top left, depending on your orientation? Do you expand to that blue base or do you take the gold? And we've seen on this map in this tournament, a lot of players having difficulty securing the gold, or once they secure the gold at an early point in the game, taking advantage of the map and of their position. So, where that third expansion is, or the timing of attacking is going to be very important in this matchup.
Absolutely. No deviations at this point. I think we're going to see an hatchery first once again by Syckness. It seems to be the right play most of the time on Xel'Naga Caverns. It is a somewhat long rush distance, as you probably already know. So here comes the hatchery first by Syckness, and in comes the scout by Nadagast. So Nadagast is going to get a good peek at what his brother's up to, and Syckness is actually going to do a little harass on the SCV. Oh, nice surround on that drone. Actually doing insane amount of damage onto that drone. It's going to have to run away for some time and regen that health.
Extractor.
Actually looking at Nadagast's minerals, there's the orbital command coming down. Looks like, Syckness just trying to keep his drone alive, but Nadagast says, screw that, You're gonna die anyway, I'm gonna wall you into my base, you're not getting out of here alive. He doesn't even care about that supply depot doesn't need to go up in a timely fashion. It was mainly just to be annoying and just to keep that drone in. And now Syckness says, fuck you, I'm going to build another extractor. No gas for you.
We call that brotherly love. Where's the command center from Nadagast going down? And, the cancel and rebuild really being a pain in the ass. It's just so obnoxious how the Zerg buildings, gain health while they're building, so they're like staying at the same health point, even though he's got two Marines shooting at it. Come on, man. Oh, the cancel and rebuild. Wow.
3 Marines will do the trick.
Hope so.
That's a really early Roach Worm for our Zerg player. If Nadagast decides to go for tech again, he's going to be able to counter this quite well. As it stands now, though, all he has is Marines out in the field. If he tries to get aggressive at any point, it's not going to work. He is also building a very early command center, so looks like both players once again gearing up for more macro-oriented play.
Yeah, and a bunker going down at the foot of the ramp just to make sure, delay any extra aggression and also provide some protection for that command center that morphing into an orbital command right now before floating down there. The factory going down as well, so right now it is single barracks and a factory for Nadagast.
Wow, 2 bunkers actually. That's kind of interesting from Nadagast. He's a little worried about any kind of early... We're seeing almost literally mirrored play by these two players. I know one's a Zerg and one's a Terran. It can't be mirrored, blah, blah, blah. But we've got 2 spine crawlers, 2 defensive buildings for each player going down to protect the national expansion. And Nadagast is just powering out SCVs right now with both of those orbital commands.
Yeah, and in the income tab, we can see the harvester count, 26 for for Nadagast and 27 for Syckness as those drones of his hatching out, and actually got 3 more going down. So he's really droning up hard. He's going to take the advantage here. Though of course, got to get a couple more overlords out before he gets supply blocked.
So 2 factories now producing Hellions. I'm not sure if we're going to see the Infernal Pre-Igniter in this game. I don't even know if he's scouted that his brother has a Roach Worm. No, he has not scouted that fact yet. So Hellions might not be the perfect choice right now. But nonetheless, Blue Flame is being researched.
Yeah, that's shown to be a unit that is very effective in harassing the Zerg, even harassing another Terran. The Hellion is a great unit.
So it looks like a 2-base all-in is coming from Nadagast right here. That's just a ton of barracks right now, all building either tech labs or reactors. Actually, tech labs on all of them. So it looks like we're going to see a brutal mix of Hellions with Blue Flames and Marauders is what I'm going to assume right now. The first Hellions making their way, or 4 Hellions making their way onto the field, going to just get good map knowledge, good map control. And Zerg is going to be in a bit of trouble unless Syckness gets a lot of units out soon. He does have 3 spine crawlers, but the production capacity of Nadagast right now is rather insane. We have not seen combat shields or stim packs upgraded yet, but I imagine those are coming very soon. And as soon as those are done, I bet we're going to see a push.
Yeah, this is a strong force of Hellions here. Got really good damage on that first queen, but I don't know. There's a decent amount of roaches. Syckness doing a really good job with his footsie here. Concussion grenades concussion shells, excuse me, are still in the works. So that Marauder force will be put to good use once that finishes up.
Looks like we're going to see a little bit of Baneling action. I'm not sure that that's the right counter to what Nadagast is up to right now. But I think we're going to see a ton of Marauders get pumped out in just a second here. Yep, 3 Marauders on the way. Even more Hellions coming into action. So Baneling's really not the right choice right now. Nonetheless, the upgrade is going down. I'm actually surprised Syckness has not tried to reach out and expand yet, although he is breaking down these rocks, which intuits an expansion in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed that as well. Especially when you're ahead on minerals and behind on Vespene gas. So nice to get another expansion, another pair of extractors going.
So they're finally, the stim pack upgrade is being thrown down. +1 ground weapons and +1, press. Terran infantry weapons are going up, as well as Terran vehicle weapons are going up. So gonna have a ton of DPS, insane DPS actually. But in comes the Spire. I actually don't know if Nadagast is prepared for this Spire. He actually does have the ability to transition into Thors if he so pleases.
Wow,
he
look
might actually do that.
Roaches too.
Oh, yeah. They see everything that's going on.
Yeah, as soon as those Nadagast infantry move out, he can just take out those tanks. Could be an interesting ambush right there.
Oh, here they come. That's too many tanks, though. I don't even know if they could take down any of those tanks, even if they tried.
This could be a very effective harass, though. Oh, the observer just spotted him, yeah.
Ouchies. Actually, nice. They're focusing down the sensor tower. It's gonna deny any kind of extra information on Nadagast's part, and Syckness is just going to burrow and slowly creep away, saying, "Oh God, please don't follow me. I need these roaches so bad right now."
Wow, yeah, 20 Banelings farming up at the second expansion. Oh my God. Wow.
You know, if there's one thing that's more fun than impersonating Tasteless, it's impersonating our Toastless.
So many Banelings!
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry, I had that waiting the whole series.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll break it out once they actually get rolling, which they will be rather soon.
Everybody get your roll on. And Nadagast is trying to get set up a little bit more forward, trying to get ready to float that third command center over and take the gold expansion, which certainly his gold expansion getting set up a little bit after Syckness's second blue expansion goes down. But gold is way better than blue minerals, so he's going to get an economic advantage out of this whole situation.
And pushing forward with siege tanks, he's taking a really nice position on the map. Getting control of Xel'Naga watchtowers is something he probably should do at this point, but having all these siege tanks here and building an orbital command, planetary fortress at this gold expansion means he's going to be quite well defended and poised to be very, very aggressive, which I think is going to play right into his favor as well. As long as he positions these siege tanks well, they're kind of clumped up right now, not in the best positioning, but I expect he will be repositioning those siege tanks quite soon.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a neat little trick with the Hellions. You see that up at the top left?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, using those cliffs to fire down. Oh, no. Wow, look at those Banelings. Oh! His micro footsie went wrong there. As he was just trying to stay off the creep and utilize the slower Baneling off creep speed. And then got a little too close for comfort. Acid all over your face. So Syckness actually expanded to 4 expansions. Nadagast is going to have to push out fairly soon here. He's got the vehicle weapons level 2 going up. And yeah, he sees the expansion with that scan. See what sort of pressure he can get here. If he can force the army to engage in range of the siege tanks, unsieging him to scoot forward again. Roach is coming around the side. And without a doubt, he's got that expansion on lockdown. I like how he only moved up about half of his tanks and kept the other half behind. Now shifting those forward. And Syckness trying to, sneak an expansion in on the left side there. Interesting if that comes to play later in the game. Oh, good flank here with Mutas, Banelings, and Roaches. Oh, Banelings going to keep on rolling onto these other siege tanks. Wow, the siege tanks are going down so quick. Only one left. The Thor going down as well. It's only Bio Ball. But I think this is still a pretty big Bio Ball.
For those of you new to the game, while it did look pretty cool to run all those Banelings into the tanks, it was not the right choice. Banelings are best against Bio. They really it's not a very smart choice to run Banelings into any kind of mech because that's not a very smart use of your resources. And now, actually, if you look at the food, where's that food tab?
That's pretty different. 50.
Nadagast is just in a commanding lead. Additionally, he has the exact same number of bases as his Zerg opponent, including a gold expansion, so he's actually mining much more than his Zerg opponent, which you never want to happen as a Zerg player.
Yeah. And I like how he has this Raven with his troops, so he can just take out all of these creep tumors. That means that creep, which the Zerg players depend upon to move a little faster and give them a slight advantage. They depend on that so much. If you take out that creep by using that Raven to detect the tumors, it really limits their options quite a bit.
Ooh.
Wow.
Actually, if you look at Nadagast's army, he stimmed a couple too many times when it really wasn't necessary to stim at all. So right now, actually all of his bio is quite hurt. A few Banelings could do some insane damage, but siege tanks position in the position they're at are going to keep those Banelings out. But actually, his siege tank number has diminished quite a bit. He's bringing up 3 more right now. Nadagast actually throwing down that hidden expansion on the far left was such a smart choice. It's the only reason he's still in this game right now.
Yeah. His gold is getting attacked again. I mean, he's not going to cancel it. It's going to finish, but he's never going to mine from it, so... And Syckness just forced into that back left corner. He's going to move in here, but he does not have the number of troops. Wow, huge damage on the bio ball.
All those half-dead bio are just going to melt to those banelings, but there's so much, Nadagast's food is just so superior that it doesn't matter how many banelings you have. This is GG. Expect to see GG anytime now.
Yeah. I mean, he's being resilient staying in here, but he's not breaking down the tanks. And if you don't break down the tanks, then you're not really making any progress. So yeah, definitely a GG from Syckness. And wow, that was a pretty insane series.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome is the right word. Banelings are always awesome, even if they're not so effective. They're always fun to watch because, it really always comes down to micro when banelings are involved in the situation. Andy, what's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm still, my palms are just a little sweaty from that match right there. It was just stressful. Yeah, one thing I want to note is that by the end, Nadagast had such ridiculous macro that he would lose, like when he would lose one of those bio balls with all the tanks to a group of banelings, his supply would immediately go back up to 200. It would immediately max out because as soon as he lost units, he had money and production structures waiting, and he would just crank out more units. That's why you kept seeing those little clusters of Marines and tanks come out of his base every time a baneling bust happened or explosion. I don't know. It's just crazy that it got to that point of macro where he was able to produce. He wasn't able to produce enough units for how much money he had coming in. So Syckness just got overrun by the Terran macro machine. But definitely a great game.
Yeah, let's bring in those players for a little post-game interview, huh? Sound good? What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey. What's up?
Yo. So how do you feel about that match, Nadagast? Pretty commanding lead in almost every single map.
I feel good, yeah. It'll be weird playing him tomorrow, though, after he's had a day to think about it.
Yeah, that's true. Syckness, if there was one thing about your play in these games that you think that you could have gone back and changed, or one tech tree that you could have avoided, what would it be?
Well, in the first game, I shouldn't have tried to do the eco baneling bust because the blue flames kind of just directly counter that. That got me off to a bad start, so that probably would have been it.
All right. So tomorrow you guys are going to be facing each other once again. Do you have any kind of rivalry between the two of you? I know I asked earlier if you play frequently, and you said you do not. But is there any extra pride that comes on the line, or is it just a game for you two?
I think it's just a game. I don't think there's too much rivalry between us.
Yeah, I think
That's no fun.
We're pretty nice to each other. I feel kind of bad right now.
Could you make up some rivalry just for the sake of the tournament, please?
Fuck you, Ryan.
There you go.
I suck at making up
progress.
I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. I mean, I think most of us in this call have siblings, and we know how it goes. There's plenty of love, while at the same time there's grudges, but also you're kind of begrudgingly acknowledging the other person's skill, and you're like, But it makes the competition more fair because you're like, if the other guy beats me, I'm happy for him because he's my brother and he's a great player. It turns it more into a win-win situation. And you guys played some great games today. It was really exciting, and I think the best of 5 tomorrow series is going to be great because you guys weren't playing for anything today. Like tomorrow, you're playing for something. So
That's
who
true.
told me I didn't just throw those games. Hmm?
Sandbagging a little bit, huh?
Dun dun
Right.
dun.
Extremely
Definitely.
awesome,
But
especially when I don't look at my army.
It's not good.
Syckness is down on the Banelings. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, Jaeger, or excuse me, Nada, I have a quick question. So when you, at the end, when you get up to that point in the macro where you have like 15 barracks or something stupid like that, and most of them have reactors and you're just pumping out units, just because you have insane macro, can you keep spamming your M key? Is that what you do? You just hotkey all your barracks and then spam M or D, or how exactly do you handle that late game macro like that?
I just have my hotkey, my Raxes and factories hotkeyed, and I just hit 3 for Rax and then A for Marine. It's not M, but
right.
yeah.
Sorry, I obviously
but yeah,
don't play
that's pretty
Terran.
much it. Like usually, like right after a battle, I try to make a point to, if I ever get to that point, where I have a bunch of stored money and 20 production buildings, I try to just remax immediately after the battle.
Right. Yeah, no, I was noticing that you did that, and it was pretty impressive because it would, it'd be maybe a second or two, and then all of a sudden it'd go right back up to 200. So it's pretty hard to, when you're basing your production as a Zerg player on how many larvae you can create, in a 30-second interval between injections, on 2 base, it's a really difficult thing to counter. Especially, early game Zerg macro can be incredibly more powerful, right? But late game, when you have that much production, it's almost impossible to keep up with that. Unless you have 7 hatcheries.
Yeah, it's like what happened in that game was kind of like the reverse of what happens usually. Usually it's the Zerg that goes into crazy, instantly max mode, and the Terran has to just kill him with one big push. But if I can get an economy like that, then yeah.
No, absolutely.
So did we even see any air units come out of either of these players in this series? Actually, no, there were some mutas. I take that back.
And I made some
2
Ravens and Medevats.
Yeah.
And a couple Vikings.
All right, well, I take that question back.
Now, why did you go for the Ravens, Nada? Was it mainly to deny his creep? Because it seemed like you were making a point of that.
No, well, yeah, that too, but he showed me Burrow in the Metalopolis game and the last game, so I didn't want to have roaches, burrow move into my army and then kill everything. So yeah, I think it's kind of necessary to have a Raven if he has roaches with burrow move. I'm not sure if he had burrow move or not, or just burrow, but I thought it was a possibility. So, plus the Raven was really good too. It ruined his mutas in the big battle between his 3rd and 4th with PDD. It was really clutch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you see those point defense drones thrown up enough against mutas, but either way, I think that's wrapping up our coverage for tonight. You guys got any last statements you'd like to say out to the listeners right now?
Nope.
All right.
Not I, says
Syckness.
the Andy.
Support Lazarus Gaming and check out Strap Bunker if you're looking for lessons.
Oh yeah. Nerdstomper.com. Yeah. And shout out to Angela and Ryan. Good game, dude.
Good game.
Nice little sibling rivalry, and of course the prize for between these two players, one of which the second placeman will be receiving a Patriot Memory solid state drive, while the first place winner will be taking home a brand new NVIDIA GTX 460. So some awesome prizes going down. That is tomorrow night, either at 10 Eastern or 11 Eastern if we can get Day 9 to help us out with a little bit of promo. It all depends on the big man himself. But either way, we're going to be bringing that to you tomorrow night at some point. Remember to follow TGBF on Twitter. That's twitter.com/TGBF. For all the updates, we'll be using that to let you guys know what's going on. As well, I hope that you guys take the time to check out a little project called Gamescast.tv. TGBF is one of our partners, as well as Day 9, DJ Wheat, and the majority of major North American and European esports broadcasters. It's essentially an aggregator site which will keep you up to date with all the stuff going on in esports on a day-to-day basis. Well, that's it for me. Fishstick signing out.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take it from here. Yeah, that's about it for the evening, and that's it for the end of that's it for round robin play here. We're gonna see Nadagast and Syckness square off one more time for the championship tomorrow. Once again, hope you join us for that. But yeah, for Fish Sticks next time, and my buddy Andy Zoom, this is Shedder. You've been watching the Starcraft Showdown here on TGBF. Catch you tomorrow night.